Hey guys, this is Mr. H. This is question number 28 from the August 2022 Regents exam. Wanted to go over it. Um, I don't know if we're going to actually get to box plots because that's what this question is. Um, these questions don't show up very often, and usually I would much rather spend our time on some of the more the questions that show up more often. But I am going to create videos for this to show you how to do this, just in case you want to know how to do these kind of questions. So number 28, it says the ages of the last 16 United States presidents on their first inauguration day are shown in the table below. So there's 16 ages here of presidents, and they want to know what is the interquartile range. Now, interquartile range, sometimes it's also called the IQR. Basically, in order to find the interquartile range, we need to know what the quartile 1 is, and we also need to know what quartile 3 is. And what that means basically is we're going to need a box plot. Sometimes it's called a box and whisker plot. And here are the things that the box plot has. It has a minimum value, it has quartile 1, it has quartile 2. That's usually called the median. It's actually quartile 2, but it's usually called the median. 99.9% of the time, it's going to be called median. Sometimes you might see it referred to as quartile 2, but it's called the median most of the time. Here's quartile 3, and then it has a maximum. Those are the 5 pieces of data that you will always be able to find from any box plot. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to create a box plot using your graphing calculator, because you guys almost know how to do it because we've been using parts of it already. So I'm going to go to the calculator, and first thing you're going to do is you're going to use the spreadsheet. And all of those 16 pieces of data, those 16 ages, I entered into the spreadsheet. So I called it ages. You could put an X here, it doesn't matter. There's only going to be one column. Then you enter all 16 pieces, and then you're going to go to the home screen. You're going to go here, and if you look at these blue dots, there's going to be 16 of them. And so you're going to go down here, and you're going to put ages here. Now, I want to make a couple quick comments on this. This is also a statistical plot. This is called a dot plot. Now, most of the time, the way that we've been using this, we also have an X and a Y. But in these kind of data questions, sometimes we might only have one piece of data, which is ages. And basically, whenever we put the age down here, it creates a dot plot. And the dot plot basically tells you the minimum, the maximum, and how often these numbers are showing up. So for instance, there's 2 dots here. That means that there's 2 51s. There's 2 dots here. That means there's 2 54s. Now, but we're not looking for a dot plot on this one. We're looking for a box plot. Now, here's how you change it. We already know how to basically do this. You go menu, and then the plot type up here. It defaults to the dot plot, which we already see. Now we're just going to change that to a box plot. So when you press enter, there is our box plot. And it has 5 pieces of data. Here's the minimum, 43. Here's the quartile 1, 51. Here's the median, 54.5. Here's the third quartile, 61.5. And here is the maximum, 70. Now I'm going to go over to back to my tablet, and I'm going to label those. I'm going to put them in black here. All right, so this is 43. The maximum is 70. Quartile 1, what was it again? Quartile 1 was 51, 54.5, 61.5. Okay, so if I go back here, this is going to be 51. This is going to be 54.5. And this is going to be 61.5. So those are the 5 pieces of data for the box plot. The 2 pieces that we need quartile 3 and quartile 1. So it's going to be 61.5 minus 51, right? And that would be 10.5. So the interquartile range for this data is 10.5. That's what you would put. and that would be your answer. Now, you don't have to put all of this stuff down here. I was just explaining to you how you kind of come up with the 5 pieces. So you don't have to create a box plot. Basically, you just have to be able to take those quartile 3 and quartile 1 and then find the difference for the interquartile range. All right, so now I'm going to look at a couple more because I want you guys to really be comfortable with this. All right, and I am going to write on the screen for this one. So let me get a pen. All right, so here, this one says, number 1, it says, what is the second quartile range for this box? So basically that's the median. So it's going to be this line right here. You go down, you see it's 30. So that's what you would choose. Over here, we have the box and whisker plot for students' science score or English test scores. And they said, what is the value of the upper quartile? I'm not sure if it's this or if it's this. I think the upper quartile would be this, the third quartile. So I would say 84. I'm going to have to double check that, but I think it's 84. And then for number 2 here, it says, what is the value of the third quartile shown on the box and whisker plot? So if you look at this, you can see that the third quartile is here. So this is going up by 1. So this is 10. So our answer for this one would be 10. If we come over here to number 5, let me stop this and move it up a little bit. And I'm going to have to clear that other stuff off since I'm doing that. Let's clear all the drawings. And now, so for 5, it says the accompanying diagram shows box and whisker plots of students on the last midterm examination. What is the median score? The median, you just draw this line, take it down. You can see it's going up by 1. So the median for this would be 81. Let's do a couple more. Let me clear this. And let me move it up. So let's look at these right here. Let's see, can we move it down a little bit? All right, so here. So let me get my pen. So it says here, what's the median score? You just go to this line, draw it down, 75. This is saying what percent of these students are 15 or older? So if you draw your line right here, this would be the first quartile, which means, remember, quarters are basically 25% of the data. So this is 25% of the data, this is 25% of the data, this is 25% of the data, and this is 25, for a total of 100. So there's 25% of the data is 15 or older. So we're going to go this way. So everything over here is older than 15. So that would be actually 75%. So we would have quartile 2, quartile 3, quartile 4. So it's 75%. Let's look at number 7. It says, what is the range of the box plot shown below? To find the range, all you would do is take the minimum, like you would, the minimum value from the maximum value. And so that would be 8 minus 1, which would be 7. Let's look at number 10. It says we got some grades for a college stats class. They want to know which interval contains exactly 50% of the grades. So if we go from 63 to 88, that would be 75% of the data. If we go from 63 to 95, that would be 100% of the data. That's not what we want. If we go from 75, which starts right here, and then go to 81, which goes right here, that would be only 25% of the grade, percent of the grades. So it's got to be this last one, 75. So it's the interquartile range from here over to here. It contains 50% of the data in this little box. Everything in this box represents 50% of the grade. So that's what we would choose. I think we're done with this. And I hope this has been helpful. Let's see if I can get back to this. Just remember, the minimum Quartile 1 starts here. Quartile 2, or the median, is here. That line, wherever the line is, that's the median. This end of the box will be quartile 3, and over here would be the maximum. So that's what we got, and I hope you guys are good with this. All right, I'm going to stop recording and load this up.